Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to math. Today we're going to cover a few vocab words, okay? Pretty much it's a vocab word slash assignment because, okay, it's not really that complicated. It's something very, very simple, okay? Our objective for today is, okay, we're dealing with transversals, okay? You might ask yourself, what are they? We're going to cover them in a minute, okay? But the objective for today is to know the following, okay? What is a transversal, okay, and how it works? What is alternate exterior angles? How they work? Alternate interior angles, corresponding angles, and consecutive interior angles, okay? So that's the objective for today. We have to learn 5 things, okay? Very, very simple. Remember, the first one is transversals, okay? Transversals are lines that pass through 2 or more lines, okay? So for example, if I would have had 2 lines, okay? There's our 2 lines. A transversal passes through both lines, okay? So we have a line that slashes through, okay? Which means that this line intersects here and here, okay? If we want to label these lines, we can say line L, okay? This is line M, and this is line N. So line L is our transversal because it crosses through line M and line N, okay? So it makes 2 intersections. That is a transversal. It can go through more than 2, okay? But it cannot just go through 1 because then it's just an intersection, okay? So it has to do 2 or more lines in order to be a transversal, okay? Now, the next part is we were learning about 4 words that we also had in there. You remember? There were alternate exterior, alternate interior, corresponding, and consecutive interior angles, okay? Let's start off with the first one. The first one is alternate exterior, okay? Alternate exterior, the word alternate means opposite, exterior means on the outside, okay? So if I were to label this transversal, okay? If I were to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, okay? If we're dealing with alternate exterior angles, okay, again, alternate is opposite, exterior means on the outside. So angles that are opposite on the outside. We know that 1 and 2 are on the outside because they can float off into any direction, right? The same with 7 and 8. They can float off if they wanted to. They're in the middle of nowhere. 3, 4, 5, and 6 are in between, so those are on the inside. But since we're dealing with alternate exterior angles, we can say that 1 and 8 are alternate exterior angles because they're alternate, they're opposite from each other on the transversal, and they are on the outside. Okay? They have to revolve around the transversal. Okay? You might say 1 and 2 are on the opposite. Yes, but they are not both dealing with the transversal opposite side, meaning they have to be opposite from each other. But we can say 2 and 7. 2 and 7, sorry about that. 2 and 7 are alternate exterior angles. They're opposite from each other, and they're on the outside. Okay? So if I were to say, what angles are alternate exterior? We can say angle 1 for alternate exterior angles. We can say angle 1 and angle 8, or angle 2 and angle 7. Okay? What if I were to say alternate interior angles? Okay? So alternate interior. Remember, alternate means opposite. This time interior means on the inside, right? It's just interior. Meaning 3 and 6 is 1. So we can say angle 3 and angle 6. Or we can say angle 4 and angle 5. Okay? Because they're opposite on the inside. Now keep in mind, what if we were dealing with corresponding? Because remember, one of our objectives is to know what corresponding angles are. Corresponding angles are angles that are exactly the same degree. Okay? Usually that happens since these two lines are parallel and this transversal cuts perfectly through them. That means that think of the same location on the different lines. Okay? For example, let's use another color here. We can say angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles because notice that the line are parallel. This cuts out perfectly. They should be the same angle. Therefore, angle 2 and angle 6 are the same. Therefore, angle 3 and angle 7, and then angle 4 and angle 8. Okay? Because they're on the same location on a different line. And finally, for consecutive interior angles, says it on the name. Consecutive, think of when you're counting. You're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. They're next to each other, right? There's 1, then 2, then 3. The same with consecutive interior angles. You know they're consecutive, meaning they're next to each other. They're on the inside because consecutive interior. Okay? So we know we're dealing with something in here on the inside. Consecutive, they're next to each other. You might say 3 and 4 are next to each other. Well, there's this line that cuts through them. But wait, 3 and 5 are next to each other. Okay? So 3 and 5 are consecutive because they're on the same space. Therefore, 4 and 6 are consecutive interior angles because they're on the same plane. Okay? Make sure you write down the notes. Okay? For today, all I want you to do is send me the picture of the notes. Okay? Also, tell me how many times does the line have to intersect? At least to be a transversal. Okay? Simple. Alright guys, make sure you send me your answers as soon as you're done watching the video, and I'll be waiting for your email.